with a background on thesis and research. So I think we're gonna go that with that first. So, uh, okay, sige. So, what is thesis? So, a thesis is a written document that presents the result of a research project aimed at addressing a practical problem or issue. So, when you say thesis, you are trying to solve, you're trying to provide a solution, no? You're addressing a particular problem or issue. Muna siya nga kung natay thesis, nagay statement of the problem. So, ngano kinahanglan nato ang research? So, ang pinaka-common nga reason why we pursue research is for PhDs, master's, bachelor's degree. So, mga academic programs. So, isa sa requirement no sa mga academic programs is research, no? So, to provide solutions to complex problems. So, we also do research for that to investigate laws of nature, to make new discoveries, no? To discover new knowledge, to develop new products. Although kani sila nga lain nga function sa research, lain pa ng approach, no? But we're just trying to lay down unsa gyud ang reason why we do research. And research can also save cost, no? So, usahay nga na mohimo og research para um makita kung asa mas economical for different options, no? So, sa particular nga situation. So, they do research para makakome up with the most economical nga approach. Next is to improve our lives, no? So, we do research for many reasons. Characteristics of a good research topic. Research in topic area is needed. Research has professional significance or importance. The research is challenging and achievable in a reasonable time, and it matches the proponent's capabilities and interests. So make sure that when you choose a research topic, you can achieve it in the provided time frame for you. Kay basin og tsada kayo ang inyong napili nga topic, pero lisod di kayo ka i-execute sa gihatag sa inyo nga time frame, no? Basin og modagan siya 3 years, 2 years para mahuman and you're just given a semester for our program. So you have to weigh things, no? So, na sa inyo saan ninyo pag balance. But you really have to think nga you also have an end goal to reach. Dili lang kay mag-research lang ta just for the sake of doing research, but kinanglan we have to be able to complete it in time para inyong ma-accomplish ang inyong course requirement for CE 415. Sources of research problems. So, pwedeng observations. So, na can observe nga problem. So, you can do a research out of that. Literature reviews. So, nagbasa ka o mga literature for a certain topic. So, na din kayo nakita nga ginatawag nga research gap. Like, uh, imo nakita nga, ani nga, kanit siya nga subject, ani nga particular nga research area, wala kayo'y nag-dig deep, ani nga part. So, pwede naman na siya mahimuan ang research, no? Professional conferences and expert who will recommend mga areas nga kinahanglan pag-research, no? Because they're very knowledgeable of their fields. So those are sources of research problems. Writing research proposals and theses are written offer to solve a problem in particular way under a specified plan of management. It is a formal plan of solution to a problem. So when you do research, you are actually trying to resolve a problem. and usually in the form of questions. No, we are trying to seek answers to things nga we do not know yet pa. That is the reason why we do research. No, research proposals are documents that describe the intended research. So kung may kag-research proposal, so dari naka-lay down kung unsay imuhang intention, unsay imuhang plano buhaton sa imuhang research. Okay? Identification of topics. You should choose a topic that you like. No? So, kinahanglan, og magpili mo, actually, kato pa lang pag pili ninyo sa inyong research area, you have to be very kumbaga, nagig kay saktong reason why you chose that research area and it has to align with your interest as a professional pohon, no? Because importante man gud ang alignment sa career path, no? So for example, you are interested in water. So although di man gyud siya ingon nga necessary, but it would be ideal for you to align your thesis or your research um venture, no? Gikan sa imong undergrad, padulong sa imong masters, padulong sa imong doctorate, nga naka-align siya tanan, no? So, it is also a way for you to develop professionally in your career. So, you have to choose a topic that you are truly interested in para dili mo feed imuhang drive, no? Kay kung naturally interested ka sa usa ka topic, natural ka sa imuhang musik yung answers from that topic, no? Dili ka ma-bored, dili ka murag kalisod ba ni oy, mag-give up na din ka, no? Di na din ka ganahan og pa sa thesis, mabili na din imong grupo because in the first place, you lack interest in the topic that you chose. So this one is very important actually because nagyapon niya siya impact sa inyong commitment sa inyong thesis. Seek feedback. So you discuss your ideas with peers. If naamoy mga classmates nga tanaw ninyo kanang strong kayong background sa water or strong kayong background sa geotechnical, you approach them and you ask them, no? You make your ideas explicit. You express your ideas and seek feedback sa inyong ideas, no? Consider your future career. So this is just connected with point number one. You need to choose a topic you like because it will have an impact on your future career, especially in alignment, no? Sa imuhang career step. So, kung geotech ka, mas maayo og align gyud ka right from undergrad nimo nga um, journey, padulong din sa imuhang masters. You will also pursue geotech and then sa imong doctorate geotech para ma-fortify gyud nimo nga mo gyud na siya dinha imuhang linya or mo gyud na siya dinha imuhang expertise. So you need to select a topic that will be helpful in your career path. And then last one, you select a manageable topic. Kay basan og ang inyong topic kada kayo paminawon pero lisod kay siya i-execute, no? Especially with the given time frame for you, it's just one semester. So you need to think about that. So there are several fields of civil engineering, no? So mo ni katong study area nga ako ang gipa fill out sa inyo sa Google Forms. So we have structural, material, geotechnical, transportation, water management, and safety. So you will only choose one, no, out of this, and um you've already done this since gipa fill out man mo sa Google Forms. So nanani nga info sa among database sa inyo ha. Okay, so for the selection of advisor and panel members, for the majority of you, naanay naka-assign nga advisor, no? Manang mo appear sa inyong COR, especially for those that filled out the Google Forms katong sa first na to nga orientation, kato siya nga Google Forms, katong monitoring form for thesis students. So if you filled out that form or you approached me din so na mo yung record sa mong database. So most likely, tagaan na mo og um, thesis advisor, no? So as for what are the next steps to do, we will be discussing that later on after this. Okay, so taganta mag-presentation nga um equivalent to this one. Dito lang ta mag-refer. Okay. So, ang first ninyong buhaton is ang inyuhang concept proposal. So, kung mo kag concept proposal, di ka na siya sa chapter 1, that is the introduction na chapter, and then chapter 2, which is your review of related literature. So, unsa may nakasulod sa chapter 1? So, nadanha yung background of the study, statement of the problem, objectives of the study, conceptual framework, significance of the study, scope and limitation, and definition of terms. Now, for chapter 2, this is the review of related literature and um ang ang pag-plaster sa mga subtopics sa chapter 2 will really be up to the researchers, no? So, unsa nga mga topics inyuhang um, plan nga i-discuss nga syempre dapat relevant po dito sa inyuhang topic, no? And what are the subtopics that you are looking into? So, na siya sa discretion sa researcher. Okay, so for introduction chapter 1, so this chapter seeks to provide an overview of the research problem, the scope and the limitations of the proposed study. This also includes a justification for doing such research, and it is composed of the subsections: first, background of the study, statement of the problem, significance of the study, scope of the study, and objective. So firstly, we have the background of the study. So this is the first subsection in the introduction, and here you are providing a background of the research problem or a brief description of the existing real-world problem that is to be addressed by the research study. So here, muna siya ang pinakaunang part kung so you're trying to grasp the interest of your reader. No, you have to find a way to connect what is in the real world and how is it relevant to um the problem that you're discussing in your research. No, so you're providing a background. So this the subject of the study gives the general area which the research problem belongs, gives a general information concerning the research problem. It usually has something to do with an observed problem in its proper perspective, and this portion usually includes processes and concepts relevant to the study. It gives a general information regarding your research problem, and usually kung unsa na yung mga available nga knowledge about the topic nga inyohang i-discuss, no? So, dara ninyo na siya butang sa background of the study. It has something to do also with an observed problem in a proper perspective. And this portion includes processes and concepts relevant to the study. Next is statement of the problem. So the statement of the problem gives a specific description of what the research hopes to answer. So kung naman galing pinaka gist aning statement of the problem, unsa nga mga um unsa nga mga questions ang ginasik sa imuhang research nga iyang i-answer. Unsa nga mga questions ang ma-answer sa imuhang research. So that is what the statement of the problem is all about. So kinahanglan specific kid kayo imuhang statement of the problem. It's very clear and it's very concise, no? And the next objective of the study. So this is to give direction to the research. So kung galakaw pa ka, the objectives of the study is your map, no? So it will show you the direction kung asa ka padulong, unsa imuhang goal. So the content of the objectives of the study includes statements of results that the research is expected to achieve. So as a manner of presentation, the following are usually observed. Objectives are written in listed form using numbers, letters, or any form of separators or identifiers, or although usually numbers na siya, no. The infinitive form of verbs should be used. Representation should be neutral. Objectives may be classified as general or specific. If an objective is dependent on another, clear presentation and distinction should be made. So, si objectives nimo dapat align po siya sa imuhang statement of the problem. So, aligned na sila dapat duha. Only one topic to be addressed by one objective. Next is the conceptual framework. So this one includes one or more formal theories in part or whole, as well as other concepts and empirical findings from the literature. It is used to show relationships among these ideas and how they relate to the research study. So it is typically a visual representation. So, probably na mo i-illustrate na a figure and you will be showing the relationship between the variables that are concerned sa inyong research. In other words, a conceptual framework visualizes how the researcher views and organizes the different concepts and variables that they will be dealing with sa ilang study. No? Next is significance of the study. So this is the part that shows why there is a need to conduct the study. No? Ngano kinahanglan man sa i-conduct. So this shows how important it is, how significant it is to conduct the study. No? So how will be how will the results be utilized? How will they help no in reinforcing mga existing nga mga knowledge. So basically, significance of the study is why are we conducting this study? Now, why is it important? Why is it significant to conduct this study? The next, scope and limitation of the study. So the scope gives the limitation and the delimitation of the study. So here, you will be laying down kung unsay makover sa inyong study o unsay dili makover sa inyong study. So you will be telling the readers, you will be kumbaga imuhang mag-set kag boundary ba asa lang kaman ang i-cover sa imuhang research. And unsa nga mga factors nga dili na nimo i-consider sa imong study. Muraw ni siya og in a way na pud siya murag sa disclaimer sa inyong study no. So og na may mga factors nga wala na consider so you mention that in your scope and limitation of the study. Next, definition of terms. So, kani siya klarohon. I would like to emphasize this one because ang gakahitabo man gud ani sa researchers is murag siya gakahimo og dictionary. But actually, the purpose of definition of terms is to define terms that are technical, specific to the study area you're dealing with, no? So kung may kag na word, English word nga medyo di kay ka familiar, so dili pasabot nga dili sa common nga word, dili siya na din mo sa butang sa mga definition of terms. So you can only put technical terms sa imuhang definition of terms. So muna siya ang purpose sa definition of terms sa research, no? Dili na siya dictionary. So, mga generic nga mga term, dili ni mo na siya include na. Kato lang mga technical terms. Itong mga terms nga mga tao nga wala sa ato ang research area, dili makasabot or dili makakomprehend. So, kana siya man ginatawag na to nga technical terms or jargons, no? So, mo yung i-define sa definition of terms. Okay, next, the review of related literature. So, this is chapter 2. So, ang inyuhang pag-cluster ani will really depend na on the researcher, no? So, um, generally, ingani iyahang format. So, 2.1 main topic, and then what are the subtopics nga what are the subtopics nga naa ang main topic, and So on, ano lang siya. Okay, so the function of the RRL is to present the general status of the research in the area where the problem belongs. So in that particular research area, unsa na na-accomplish nato, no? With regard to research. Unsa na naa sa atong archives. Ana siya. So one of yung function sa review of related literature. So usually it has pertinent information, especially recent findings and knowledge. So um yeah, it's very important no na dili lang pod sobra ka daan ang inyuhang gamiton mga mga tawagan mga sources, no? Okay, so a general statement on the status of research or literature on the subject is usually provided. This serves as a summative introduction. Okay. So, unsa my purpose sa literature review? The main purpose within the context of a graduate research is to establish its originality, that is. So, it's very important no nga original ang inyong study, and I would like to give you a heads up kay mo po ning usa sa gatan-awon sa panel ninyo. Og original ba inyong study? So, when you propose your research titles, you make sure that wala kay naka-study og ingan na like same, very same sa inyong scope before. Kay if not, then possible na siya nga i-decline sa panel. No? So research has to be um, original, no? It should be unique. So muna yung bantayan po. And that is the purpose of literature review. Kaysa RRL magod is we are trying to lay down kung unsay naa sa archives, and then i-establish nimo nga naay gaps ani nga portion ani nga particular nga study area. So that is the reason why we are trying to dig deep in here. Ginatry na delve din so that ma-address ka na siya nga gap. Almost always something related has been done. The review organizes these, no, discusses them and points out the limitations, and some of it mo ay i-address sa imuhang research. So muna to ko na mention, no? Kung unsay gaps sa existing archive, mo to i-address dapat ninyo sa inyong research. The second purpose of RRL is to place the proposed research in context, that is, to show its importance within a wider problem area. This should be established from the opinions of others who define the context and identify important unsolved problems. The third purpose is to compare methodological approaches to the research problem. So there are almost always several ways to address a research problem. So research really is open-ended, no? Depende na siya sa researcher kung unsa niya pag-strategize para ma-address ang problem nga they are trying to solve. So sources may be categorized as journal articles, conference papers, book, pwede po ka mo gamit og books, technical reports, and web pages. So, dili ta pwede mo gamit og kanang sa media ha, especially if um syempre technical man jud ang atong research, so quote ka sa media, so dili na siya pwede. So we can only um use those that are enlisted here as source for your RRL. Research technical specifications. So, ang atong ginagamit na paper size is A4 and substance 20. So, this is 70 to 80 GSM. Although, daghan gid gamit og 70. May pinaka-common ginagamit. For margins, The top should be 1, bottom 1.5, right is 1, and left is 1.5. Para na siya sa bookbinding. Pagination. This is at the footer, 1 inch from the bottom of the page. Page number is placed at the bottom center of every page. Page number should be consistent with the text in font size and style throughout the manuscript. Each page should be numbered except title page and the chapter 1. Okay, so ano siya. Page layout. All pages should be printed in portrait mode. Landscape mode is not allowed except for purposes of accommodating unusually large tables. So kung may dago kang mga tables that you need to um show in landscape, that is allowed. Illustrations nga palapad siya, so pwede pa na siya landscape. But strictly for all pages, if wala yung mga inga na nga cases, they should be in portrait mode. Font and size. So we will be using Times New Roman na font style, 12 point nga font size, and italics should only be used. Mga 40 minutes from now. So you can use italics for quotations or words in a foreign language or scientific names, but only for those no we have mentioned. So any other word, dili po pwede basta-basta makagamit og italics. So we are restricted on that. Your text should be in black color strictly. Spacing. The manuscript should be double spaced. This is except for table of contents and references. Table of contents and references shall be single spaced. So for text citation of references, we will be using APA or the American Psychological Association. So sa tanan, we will be using APA format. Equations. Equations should be numbered consecutively from 1.1, 1.2, and so on up to the end of the paper, including any appendices. The first number refers to the chapter, and the second number after the dot or the period refers to the nth occurrence of the equation within that chapter. So many samples sa title page. Don't worry, this will be sent to you. So, muna siya ang format sa inyong table of contents. So, nga na siya. Single space, and then nga nga formatting. Tables and figures. Table captions are typed on the upper left of the table. Only the first letter of the table title is capitalized. Figure captions are typed center below the figure. Only the first letter of the table title is capitalized. Illustrations must be numbered consecutively throughout the entire manuscript. A decimal approach, where the first digit is a chapter number and the digit after the decimal point is the illustration number, should be used. List of references. References is used instead of bibliography for the list of works cited. Entries are listed alphabetically by the author's last name. This must be in the same font type and font size as the rest of the manuscript and should be single spaced and justified. So, in any inyong citation for two authors, so sundin lang ninyo ni siya for more than two authors. Okay, so in any lang siya. No? So, we will just be following the APA format. So, if you need more reference on this one, natay standard yun nga formatting for APA nga mga citations. So you can refer to the internet. Yeah. So for methodology or chapter 3, we will be discussing that siguro mga few weeks from now na siguro para di mo information overload. So anyway, we'll proceed to our next top agenda for today. Agendum for today. Okay. Any questions? Naba may questions? Okay. So, diri, makita ninyo ang research flow na to. Ang process flow sa atong CE415. So, medyo taas-taas din ito na table. Okay. So, first is the signing of the undergraduate thesis agreement. So, muna yung pinakaunang step. So, you need to approach your advisor so that you can sign your undergraduate thesis agreement. So, I will show you the form. This one. Okay, so nadiri naka-list ang mga specific responsibilities sa advisor and then the specific responsibilities of the advisee. Mm. So, mo sign lang mo din hi. So, dere names of students and then here the date kung kano sa nag-sign ang student and then dere dayan ang para sa yung advisor and then sa research coordinator dayan. Okay, so this is the first form that you will need to accomplish. Okay, so next is title proposal. So after mo magig um mag-approach sa inyong advisor no for the undergraduate thesis agreement, kung mapirma na si advisor, nakapirma na mo, complete na inyong undergraduate thesis agreement, which you need to submit here sa coordinator by the way. So after that, you will be um doing the title proposal. So for this, you will be using the research title proposal form, which is, wait lang ha, this one. So man inyong gamiton nga form for your research title proposal. So you will be putting here the name of your group, unsa inyong research area, structural, material, water, safety, management, transportation, etc. So muna dira inyong ibutang research proponents, kinsay mga researchers. Um, last name first, and then arranged alphabetically. And then proposal 1, proposal 2, proposal 3. So kaning amo ang format na rin na tama ni siya 5 but actually you are given the discretion on pila ang inyuhang i-propose sa inyong advisor basta kay dili mo ubos og tulo. So anong tulo or more depende sa inyo ha mo na pilian sa inyong advisor. But it's not a guarantee pod ha nga ma-approve gyud ang na ma-approve gyud sa tulo kay na may usahay gud nga ang gi-propose sa student kay dili ka acceptable nga title or na ba kay kulang or di gyud siya swak no. So uh, possible gihapon nga ipa-submit mo sa inyong advisor another nga um proposal. So depende na na siya, no? So again, minimum of three, ang maximum depende na sa inyo ha. So na siya sa inyo basta kay minimum of three. So dire bisan si leader lang tayo ng signatory. So name ni leader and then signature. So i-submit din ni kang um advisor. Okay? Regarding aning question no nga, when ninyo pwede ma-approach ang advisors or ang advisor ba ang ma-approach sa inyo? The answer is kamo ang ma-approach sa advisors and you can do that as soon as on Monday. So, pwede na mo maka-approach sa inyong advisors on Monday because humana pod may naka um, meeting about research. So, pwede na mo maka-approach on Monday. Okay, so after sa title proposal, so tangta, nanay napili nga title. So, mo proceed na din mo sa inyong nomination of panel members. So, on Monday, um, magpa-queue ko sa inyo hadinhi. I will be seeing each group para sa assignment sa panel composition. So, ma-assign na dayon mo og panel members, no? So, once nga makabalo na mo kung sa inyohang panel members, so you will then accomplish this step tinatawag na itong a nomination of panel members using this form. So, let me show that form. This one. So, di ba, na naman din mo yung approved nga research title sa inyong advisor. So, mo ito yung ibutang din. Research proponents mo ning ngalan sa group members and of course that includes the name of the leader. No, kaya ang uban mo ibutang diri ang ngalan sa research ngalan sa leader pero wala diri gibutang iyang ngalan sa member. You're also a member, no? So you need to include your name sa research proponent. And then diri ngalan sa lead researcher or the leader. And then diri mo na din inyong nominated faculty members para sa inyong panel. So si advisor and si panel chair is the same person. Again, ang advisor o ang panel chair parehas ra. Kaning member, i-appoint na siya sa inyo ha. So, ihatag din sa inyo on Monday. So, you will be called upon. Magpa-queue lang ko siguro sa chat para dili tagubot diri sa office. Okay, so, og completely signed na ni siya, then, i-submit dayon ninyo um, dere sa office, no? Para ma-formalize siya. So, one copy for the coordinator and one copy for the um, research proponent. Okay, so that's for the nomination of members of oral examination panel. No need, no need na magpa-proofread, ma'am. Somebody asked, no need na magpa-proofread. Um, pasabot sa no need na magpa-proofread, ma'am. Actually, proofreading is the responsibility of the researcher. It's not the responsibility of the advisor. So once gani nga maghatag na mo og papel sa inyong advisor, kinahanglan nga polished na siya as much as possible, no? So, dili role ni advisor nga mo proofread sa inyuhang um paper. But to answer your question nga, is there a need or is there no need to proofread? Just like any other paper, you need to proofread your paper kaya syempre ibutang ba na siya sa engineering library o prove na inyong study. So of course, you need to proofread it, but you need it to do on your own, no? Kamo as a researcher, you need to do the proofreading. Ma'am, mag-title proposal me this afternoon. Need mag-secure og proposal form. Karon pa mi na-inform about this po. Yeah, you're supposed to know this karon pa pod. Kay karon pa po atong orientation. And wala pa man pod mo gitagan og instructions to approach your panel or your advisor. So yes, you need to use the proposal form. Sa panelist po ma'am, kami ang mangita pod. This will be appointed. I-appoint ang panel. Katong mga IP ang grade po nga wala na appeal sa list. Unsay buhaton po. Thank you. Gipost na ako ni siya ay, ma-approach ako adiri sa office. Ang katong IP ang grade nga wala na appeal sa list because we need your information kay naman good may a database nga dadto na tanan na mo ibutang ah tanan information for a particular group. So kung wala mo sa amo ang kumbaga master list, then wa may record sa inyo ha. So you need to approach us kung active mo sa thesis ani nga semester regardless kung IP ka or enrolled ka ani nga sem. Pwede may mga sa file for title proposal form po. All forms will be given to you after the end of this orientation. They will be provided. Okay. After the nomination of panel members, so okay na to siya, nakasubmit na mo. Anyway, do not worry because you will be guided as we go along. Maghatag man po kog specific instructions, reminders for you as we progress sa atong semester, no? So, maghatag man kog reminders from time to time, but still you need to be knowledgeable of the process flow already because that is the purpose of the orientation. But from time to time, I will be reminding you kung asa na mo at at that particular time or sa inyong ginano mga timanon reminders. Okay, so after maka-nominate na sa panel members, then the preparations for the concept proposal. So muna ning inyuhang pag-ready, muna ning pag-draft ninyo sa inyuhang paper per concept. So kung may concept from page 0 to chapter 2. No? Chapter 1, the introduction and then your review of related literature. So that is concept proposal. After that, kung okay na ang inyong paper, human na ninyo siya na proofread, no? So good as done na gid siya, good as final na siya. So you will then prepare your manuscript for submission. So you will then submit your concept manuscript to your advisor for initial review and endorsement for plagiarism checking. By this is one of the requirements man for you to be able to apply for an oral defense. Pero para ma-check inyuhang plagiarism rate, kinahanglan nga mo endorse si advisor. So this is a proof nga ang inyuhang manuscript is na-review na and is already good for plagiarism checking. So in short, kinahanglan i-endorse ang inyuhang plagiarism checking form ni advisor. So unsa man ang plagiarism checking form, ma'am? Let me share to you the form. Unsa itsura ani para kabalo mo. Kingani nga tsura. So you will fill this out. Dali, ngalan sa inyong grupo, ngalan sa members, last name first, arranged alphabetically, the thesis title, and then endorsed by, sulat din nyo dire, ngalan sa inyong advisor. So, pagpa-check ninyo sa inyong advisor nga, kanang okay na siya, wala na problema inyong manuscript, then inyo din na siyang hatag appeal sa inyong advisor. And once nga sa judgment ni advisor, ready na ang inyong um, manuscript for plagiarism checking, mo perma na din na siya din he. Meaning, i-endorse na niya ang inyong manuscript for plagiarism checking. So, once nga ma-accomplish na ni siya, so we will be posting a Google form for plagiarism checking. So, dito na din may mag-base sa plagiarism checking. So, ipatawag lang dayon mo og nana ang result sa inyohang plagiarism checking, and then mo na din ni siya diri i-fill out na dayon ni sa kung kinsay nag-check. So sa department na ni siya diri, sa department na ni siya diri nga part. So kung pasar, ma-issuehan mo ani, and then permahan ni siya sa nag-check, and then i-attach din tong result sa inyohang plagiarism checking. Okay, so man siya si plagiarism checking form. So kinahanglan ninyo ni siya nga form para makapa-plagiarism check mo, and it could be endorsed by your advisor. Okay, so before ko mo-proceed, no, tanong sa nako ang Q&A. My apologies po. Nauman good mo po for PM ang title proposal with Sir Calibara po, ma'am. If as much as possible, no, the standard procedure is to use the title proposal, but if naka-arrange na mo, mm, and okay ra ka Sir Calibara, pwede ra pod. It's just a standard procedure. Storyahan na lang inyong advisor. Kung okay ra sa iya, pwede ra. Good afternoon, ma'am. Pwede mak-add sa office nimo para sa concern regarding sa IP po, ma'am? Or what about IP? Is there problema sa IP ninyo? Good afternoon, ma'am. I would like to raise my concern regarding our assigned schedule for thesis. Upon checking my COR conflict to subject, okay na na siya. You can arrange internally with your advisor. Pwede na ninyo na siya hangyuon. Baka na kung okay po siya. So, internal arrangement na lang na ninyo. Okay, paso na tadto. Okay, so okay na mo sa plagiarism checking form. Sample, gi-endorse na siya ni advisor. So, mo proceed din mo sa plagiarism checking. So, Google Forms nga inyong submitan ani. So, karon wala pa sa kayo. Wala pa mo po yung nagpa-plagiarism checking karon, but puhon, we will be opening this G form para sa plagiarism checking. So, dito ninyo din i-feed unsa nga mga info ang i-require sa G form. So, after this plagiarism checking, og mopasar na ang inyuhang paper, by the way, 20% ang max nga ato ang plagiarism rate ha. So kung ang inyong plagiarism rate mo more than 20%, bagsak na siya. And of course, kinahanglan gid mo muhunat kay kung inyuhang plagiarism rate sa chapter 1 and chapter 2 pa lang 20% na, or mga 19 or 18% na, delikado mo pag-abot sa chapter 3 and chapter 4 and 5, no? So, dapat medyo ano mo sa inyo um, tawag ani, plagiarism. Then after the plagiarism checking, o okay na siya, then will be the application for concept oral defense. So we have a set of requirements for this, and ang requirements ani will be shown at a later slide. After the application for concept oral defense, ug okay na siya, nakuha ninyo ang tanan requirements, then you can proceed with the concept oral defense. And then after, syempre, na maginay remarks, na maginay suggestions ang inyong panel, once nga inyo na na siyang ma- once nga inyo na na siyang makomply, So mataga na din mo og midterm grade. So that is for concept. Okay, so before I continue with the slide, let me answer the questions first. Sa IP, ma'am, nawala sa list even if naanay advisor last second sem po. As I have mentioned earlier, regardless kung IP ka or enrolled ka officially this semester, as long as active ka sa thesis for this semester, you need to approach. Ma'am, napay chance ma-change ang thesis advisor? Wala na. Kay final na ang tagging. Na may recommended na plagiarism checker online po, ma'am. Um, dili kay ko familiar ani ay kay ang plagiarism check magiging si Dr. Calibara. But I know some turn it in na ay mga one time nga checking sa turn it in pero medyo mahal po siya. Okay, so let's proceed. So after adto no kana na mo'y nakapasar na mo sa inyong concept defense, then you will need to prepare for the proposal. So dadto na pud din mo sa inyong chapter 3 or unsaon ninyo pagbuhat ng inyong research, unsaon ninyo pag-execute. So that is your methodology or chapter 3. So ang proposal is gikan sa page 0 kada lang sa chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So kana sila. So if okay na inyong proposal manuscript, then isubmit na din ninyo na siya sa inyong advisor for initial review. So makita ni advisor nga ah, acceptable na ni siya for plagiarism checking or for defense. Then i-endorse na rin na niya ang inyong paper for plagiarism checking. Muna din tong katong plagiarism checking form. So you will be using that. So pag man og-endorse ni advisor, we will then do the plagiarism checking. If walay problema, goods siya, then you can proceed with the application for proposal oral defense, given that you will be able to provide all of the requirements. And then after that, after your application, you will then be scheduled for a proposal oral defense. Then, syempre, namigi remarks ana, no? Mga comments sa panel. So, you need to address those. So, kung ma-address na ninyo to siya, you will then be you will you will then need to accomplish the approval on the grading of the proposal manuscript. This is a form. Let me show you. Sa kani siya. Mo ni inyong pinakaalasan ni na yung end goal. So, kani siya nga form. Mo ni yung basis sa inyong advisor nga pwede na matagaan o grado ang mga estudyante. So, fill out ninyo dun ha. Sige, pangayo sa form. And then, dere na mo pirma inyong advisor. Pinakalas mo pirma sa advisor. Muuna og pirma ang panel members. So for example, panel ninyo si Sir James, Engineer Martinez. So, og makita ni Engineer Martinez nga na-comply na nila tanan nga akong gi-require sa ilahang paper. So, mo pirma na din na siya dinhi. So once nga permado na sa tanan member, panel member, mo perma na din si advisor. And then after ka-advisor, si coordinator for documentation. And then uh, ultimately si Dr. Calibara ang last no nga line for approval. So once nga ma-complete na ninyo ni siya, matagaan ninyo og copy si advisor, then na day may grade 4, PE 415. So muna din to siya ang last nga step. Minsan eh. Pwede, kadyo lang hanap ko i-answer ng question. Pwede ba sa Monday mo adto sa office? Sa katong mag-process sa IP grade nga wala na appeal sa list? Federal representative, I'm not sure about what you mean, but regarding this, i-approach na lang ko sa opisina para wala tayong miscommunication or misunderstanding ani. Okay, so next, these are the list of requirements for the application of concept oral defense. So you need application for oral defense, duly signed by the advisor, panel members, research coordinator, and chairman. So this is also a form. Let me show you. Ano na ako nabutang? Nakaka Wala pa lang ni siya na-edit nga version, but this is the application for oral defense. So mo ni siya, i-fill out ninyo ni siya. Usa ni sa mga requirements para sa inyong application for defense. So fill out lang ninyo din ha, and then din to siya. Okay, so after that, your approved plagiarism checking form with the attached plagiarism result, ang inyong concept manuscript, and the rating form. Okay, so that those are the list of those are the requirements for concept defense application. Next, for proposal oral defense. So the application for oral defense, you will still be using the same form that I previously showed you. Approved plagiarism checking form with attached plagiarism result, proposal manuscript that is from page 0 to chapter 3, rating form, minutes of approved concept defense. So, pangayon gyapon sa inyo ang minutes approved concept defense so that makita na to kung unsay agreements between the proponents and the panel during sa concept defense. And para makita pod good ang proof no sa inyong verdict. So you also need to um provide that budget matrix. Kani siya pangayon na ninyo ni sa department ha, just approach me regarding this. For budget matrix, you will be given a sample for this in Gantt chart. Okay, so this is the outline of the concept and proposal manuscript title page, abstract dedication acknowledgement, although kaning tulo pwede ra sa mo nga sa pinakalas na ninyo ni siya i-provide. So title page, your table of contents, and then chapters 1 and 2 lang taman for concept. And then kung proposal na mo, all of these and then chapter 3. So that is for proposal. Okay, so oral defense schedule reservation policy. The researchers may only reserve a schedule for their oral defense that is at least 7 days ahead of the date they apply. So meaning, kung gaplano ka nga next Friday ka mo, for example, mag-apply lugar ka karon, ang earliest date nga pwede ni mo mabook or ma-reserve is next Friday. Ano siya? So reservations for dates less than 7 days in advance, dili naman na siya i-accept. So strictly 7 days ahead atong booking. Proponents should have completed all required submissions. So bawal apas ha. So kinahanglan tanan ninyo requirements kompleto gid siya. So kinahanglan ang inyong documents completely signed. Reservations will be processed on a first come first served basis. So it is advisable to apply as soon as all requirements are met. And we really advise you to um, reserve a schedule for defense as soon as possible because ang gagahitabo usually is ang mga students towards the end na sa schedule mag-book. So ang problema, magka-conflict na din sa schedule kay walay bakante ang panel nga same or common sa students. So, prevent that from happening, no? Aim to defend your your paper as soon as possible para makaiwas mo na nga mga issues. Okay, so ang inyong advisorship ay ang inyong advisor na naman sa inyong COR. Timeline and important dates. So, muna siya tong timeline for TC415. So, for February 3, muna siya ang start sa application for open defense. So, ready na mo. So, ready na mo accept of application next Monday. February 10 to March 6. So, that will be the open defense. So, this is for um, concept defense, no? And we will also be accommodating the old group katong mga bilin last time, itong mga old nga batch. So, that is February 10 to March 6. And then after that, we will be having a break from defense from March 7 to 27. Etong midterm exam is on 14 to 20 month. And we will need 1 week break before and after the midterm exam because before sa midterm exam, bawal man mo dire sa office. Di man mo pwede makasulod due to the preparation of the questionnaires. And after that also, um, occupied po ang faculty due to the processing of the grades for midterm, no? So, muna siya nga natay break from March 7 to 27. And then, we will resume by March 28 to April 16. So, man ginatawag na to nga block defense. So, pasabot sa block defense, mama. Pasabot na priority na ang mga students nga officially enrolled ani nga semester. But, we will still accommodate those old group given nga napay available time slots. But the priority good is katong mga students nga na-enroll officially this semester. So if you are an old batch or old ka nga group, so you aim to defend between aning February 10 ug March 6. Okay? So we have a schedule for redefense. So nag-allot na mi og 1 week for that if ever no. April 21 to 25 kung naay magre-defense nga mga grupo. So um we'll be having this schedule for redefense. That is 5 school days. And then May 23 to 28 is our final examination. So just to give you a picture no, of the semester. Okay. So timing of defense sessions. So sa inyong concept, so preparation inyo will be 5 minutes. So this is the setup of your projector, ang pagplaster sa mga rating forms sa inyong panel. So that will be 5 minutes, no? And also, no, even though parts sa inyong time window ang preparation, which is 5 minutes, you have to arrive at the venue mga 20 minutes before para ready na mo, no? Presentation ninyo for concept will be 10 minutes, Q&A 35 minutes, deliberation, so ingon na din sa inyo ang verdict or mag deliberate ang panel of okay ba sila sa inyong study or not. So in total for concept we will be allotting 60 minutes for each group. Per proposal, 5 minutes nga preparation, 15 minutes nga presentation, 60 minutes nga Q&A, or that is 1 hour nga question and answer between sa panel no and sa proponents. Deliberation will be 10 minutes. So in total, we will be allotting 90 minutes for proposal for each group. So dako na siya na allowance. Okay, so this is the criteria for assessment. So 30, 35, 35. So the 30% will be for how you presented your paper, no? Clarity, organization, material, engagement, and delivery. 35% for your manuscript, ang content, ang depth, technical accuracy, also the originality, formatting, grammar, and so on. Defense, how you respond to questions, how you demonstrate your critical thinking, how you demonstrate your knowledge of the research topic that will make up 35% of your grade for the defense. So all in all, that is 100%. So for this batch, so monitoring distribution sa research focus areas, and as you can see, obviously, material engineering takes up majority of the pie, no? So that is 64%. And pinakagamay is the safety, followed by geotechnical, and then structural, and then transportation, and then water is the second to the last. But layo na kayo siya sa material, no? So around 50, yeah, 50%. So yeah. Okay, so reminders. During the oral defense, the proponent should be in the venue 10 minutes, ideally 20 minutes, gani before dapat naa na mo sa gawas. And reminder, make sure to wear formal attire. Kaya na mga grupo before nga nag-defense, nag-sport shoes, wala gi pa proceed, no? So, ayo pag gamit og running shoes, so mag-defense ka. And also, you wear formal attire, formal fit during sa imuhang oral defense. It is also your responsibility to remind your advisor and and your panel members ahead of time sa inyong time sa defense, no? So, if for example, ugma na inyong defense, so make time to go to your panel members and to your advisor to remind them nga, sir, ugma ba alas tres? Defense ba ana mo? I-remind lang ka na mo, sir. Ana ba? So, i-remind ninyo. And then, redefense, in the case nga ma-redefense mo sa inyong proposal, so you will be given another chance. But if mabagsak pagid gihapon, like meaning na inyo na pong na-fail inyong redefense, then ang inyong next chance is pagkasunod na nga semester. Okay? So, yeah, that is the end of my presentation, and I am now opening the floor for questions. If you have clarifications. For clarification lang po, unsa difference to open defense and block defense? For open defense is open siya sa tanan nga groups, old batch and new batch. Pero sa block defense is ang priority is katong officially enrolled the semester. Although those mga old nga mga groups will still be accommodated, but priority will be given to those nga officially enrolled this semester. Kay open defense is gi-stretch man na mo ang time ana para ma-accommodate apil ang mga daan nga grupo. Um, I think na-answer man siguro ang question. Any other queries? Clarifications, concerns? So if you have concerns regarding your group, regarding your research, do not hesitate to approach me in my office. Mas mayog mag-approach yun mo kaysa i-chat-chat ninyo labi na og medyo special case ang inyo ha kay mas kay na siya i-discuss. I-chat-chat lang no or i-type sa computer. So mas mayo og you visit me in my office in person. Any other questions, clarifications? Going once, going twice? Wala na? Okay. I see another question. Where po ang office, ma'am? TE office. What if, ma'am, na may member nga dili mo help, what to do? Challenge na siya sa inyong group ay kung saan ninyo nga magtinabanga mo. Wala na siya sa scope sa department. You have to. Kamo, kamo dapat ang mo resolve na. Dara na ninyo, dara na ninyo chance nga i-display inyong team collaboration. Any other question? I will be waiting until 4:30 for questions to come in, ha. For the application, ma'am, is it within February lang? No. Mag-start sa February 3. Sabot mag-open me February 3. Ready na mi mo accept og application. Any other question? Wala na. Still have more than 3 minutes to go. So, base na type din ha, no? So, I'm waiting. So, on Monday, magpa-queue na ako sa inyong ha. So, um, meaning, magpa-visit ko sa inyo sa office, pero we will be having an online queue. So, ipalista tamo kung hindi akong una i-accommodate tagubot din sa opisina via our group chat lang sa SB. So, I will be opening the queue on Monday as early as they can para ma-assign na sa inyo inyong panel members. So, on Monday, pwede na po mo mag-approach ang inyong advisors. If wala pa mo naka-approach, then pwede na mo maka-add sa ilang for the first step, which is the peace agreement. More than 2 minutes, wala na ipangutana. Okay, so wala naman, no? Taas na kayo ang inyong silence. Anyway, if wala na may pangutana, then you can now leave the Zoom meeting. Thank you so much for attending um, our orientation this afternoon. If you have questions, clarifications, concerns, do not hesitate to approach me in my office, civil engineering office.